Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Welcome to Palais Mermonia. Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. Swirl!
Dog fist!
Shine down! My apologies! To oblivion! There is no escape! Whirling snow! My apologies! Shine! Embrace the ice! Go! Wipe out! Now you shall perish!
Illusion shattered!
Go!
Take flight!
Whirling snow! Water jet!
There is no escape!
Kamisato art! Select unthinkable!
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish!
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
Take flight!
Embrace the ice!
Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape!
Bombed away! Go! My apologies! Whirling snow!
Illusion shattered!
Are you here to play with me? Kamisato art! Surrender! My apologies!
Now you shall perish! Shine down!
Over here!
Take flight!
Over here! You really know how to get... me going.
Illusion shattered!
Collecting rare and exquisite treasures. Yes, this seems suitably sophisticated. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
Yeah.
Kamisato art! Sumetsu!
I see everything.
There is no escape.
So rude! My apologies!
Ha! Kill! Ha! 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 Ha!
Take flight! Yeah! 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 My apologies!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Whirling snow!
Hey!
Now you shall perish! Shine down! Absurd! The mortal plane! A fleeting dream!
My apologies! Sakura swirl! Water jet!
There is no escape!
Take flight!
Make yourselves at home.
Illusion shattered!
Whirling snow!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Kamisato art! Sumetsu! Take flight!
Shine down! Now you shall perish!
Share my knowledge.
There is no escape!
Whirling snow! Sakura swirl!
Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! escape. My apologies. Yeah!
more data samples, the better.
Take flight! Embrace the ice! Wipe out! Water jet!
The Temple of Wisdom! Grow, grow, grow!
Ha! Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down!
Sharing my knowledge!
Sakura swirl! Whirling snow! Illusion shattered! Shine down! Take flight! Now you shall perish! There is no escape! Ha! 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 Insolent!
Kamisato art! Sumetsu!
The Temple of Wisdom! Committed to memory.
Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion!
My apologies! Embrace the ice!
Shine down!
Sharing my knowledge. Everyone hold hands.
Now you shall perish!
Take flight! So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty. As it...
Hey, isn't that Charlotte?
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Absolutely, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who work...
Couldn't agree more. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Huh? Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here. perfect timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, well, not to worry. You're in 10 or so years ago.
Wow.
Precisely. He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday. I know.
Yeesh. So,
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the weasel would still be at... A magician named Caesar fell to his death when the police went through his personal... Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this...
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Well, 3 days from now, when evening falls...
This is, without a doubt, what once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But what...
Uh-oh. If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we... Really?
Okay, the people have spoken. It's clear that the public... Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Lenny!
Magic, magician, Caesar, the Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lenny! You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too!
Are you serious?
Oh, relax! My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning.
Wow, Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Oh, it's simple. Come closer and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's...
Really? Then, what am I...
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You snuck out from home today, didn't you?
You can...
Of course.
All right.
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you
Well, why don't you...
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you...
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions. That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. You guys, on the other hand... Let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Wow. Got it in...
Wait, really? No trickery this time. His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about...
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the... So, Lenny, what are your thoughts on this infamous
Angry?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
Wait a minute, you don't think he's after...
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be the mere mention of... But I've been prepared...
Really?
To be honest...
You're being far too much.
Thanks for the compliment. A lot of people like a magician. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower. Just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1. That's the question. Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear. If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there...
A surprise? Let me see! It's right there! But
What an outstanding trick! Sorry, Lenny, it seems that my previous praise was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the...
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians since Caesar's death.
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, for example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related, but you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself...
Well noted. Please feel free to get it. If there's nothing else, I'll be off.
So, Lenny,
I'm afraid that's...
Aww, you feel it too, right? So itchy!
Not so itchy, then. Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants?
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians, too! Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done! Shall we go for it?
Excellent. Thank you for The first thing we need to look into is... if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there. We should make a move. Sorry.
It's been a while, and we're working as Lenny's.
Thank you.
So, what's the situation?
Nope. I've been here a while.
How bizarre. Well, we won't get it. Excuse me, good
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiancé?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot?
Yeah, she does. Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every... I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again. She knows he's gone.
She's been doing.
I'll bet. I don't know if I'm honest. I think this is all... Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be... Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking...
All right, well, thank...
You're welcome.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
You're kidding.
I don't know anymore. But what if? Just...
Called it.
Oh, please.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Hello there. Sorry for We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment?
You've come to the right people. He was a great magician. I was right up...
I saw him sometimes. But after he died, there were also... As I'm sure you know.
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, I bet Gemma must be... No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar...
So that's Gem. Wait. It looks like she's injured. Come on. Hi there. You're Gemma, right?
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid, we mean... It looks looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern. But you didn't answer.
My name is Linny, and this is my...
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he's... You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing... I promise you can trust us. We won't...
I never believed...
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years...
No.
Got it. All right.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be...
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something...
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up. In any case, I doubt we'll get any further.
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade is like a tea leaf.
Over here.
Lynette's not joining us today.
I've had her follow Gem. Still. Today we'll be looking when Caesar passed before long. I had to pull a lot.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing two.
My apologies. These two are my.
Oh, forget the pleasantries. Just sit.
Get a load of this guy.
I only agreed.
Much obliged, sir. Yesterday morning, I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as.
What is there to investigate? Caesar was the weasel, and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up.
possibility? It's a fact. The weasel is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so.
Oh, sir, I'm on. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet.
Your pride?
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity.
What would that accomplish?
Uh-oh. This is...
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you!
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on! You can't be...
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. This is your first... and he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being...
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear? I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Linny, be my guest. But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, that fell to pieces and...
Totally! He's gotta be high...
I think so too. That guy Edmondo's... You okay there?
I say wait.
So, he was serious.
Hey, don't go prime.
What kind of bad...
Don't even take it. That's not a...
And there he goes. What do we do now, Lenny?
Shh! Don't say anything and don't look back. You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce...
So you're Linny. And where's your sister? Ain't she with you today? Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
Paimon doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister! Who sent you?
Save your questions, missy. You ain't gonna need...
Looks like we can't avoid this. Now, I'm not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me.
Don't worry,
Ow!
Curses. They're tougher than we thought. Come on, let's scram!
Hey, wise guys! We ain't through it! Oh, they got away! Did you catch her? Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic. You're right. Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Let's head back to the...
Gemma?
You again. What is it this...
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them... So, you can relax now.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would...
Sounds like they're no strangers.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every... It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything. How do I know I can trust you? Do you really...
I'm afraid I can't reveal all the details just yet, but I can promise you this. I will because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance.
Okay.
I've heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, do you know where it is?
The Fleuve Sonde. But the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and I also know that the...
Understood.
Got it. But if I'm staying...
I mean, bon appetit.
Okay.
Looks like no more free coffee for me.
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Looks like these boxes... There we go. It should be just down here.
Caesar's workshop. Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props. Let's head in further. What was that? Oh, is this one of Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
Torn to oblivion! Whirling snow! Take flight!
Whoa. Look! The doll in the box is glowing! There's something written on the card on this doll. Let's take a closer look. Looks like we've reached the end of this route. Shall we try a different one? These magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
One of them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
Got it. We're supposed to find the box that lit up at the start, right? There should be another wish list inside. Let's keep trying. That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop. We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether... If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe, aha! I'm a magician too, and looks pretty big inside.
Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish!
Disappear! A round of applause!
Why have you stopped, Lenny?
Huh. It just looks familiar somehow. Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on ahead. If anyone makes a major—
All right, see you in a— Seems like we can't step on the same tile twice. Guess we've got to finish it in one run, huh?
At one of my shows as a joke, so I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer. I wound up saving very little this month. But two children came to— Anyway, I told them that learning math— It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it. Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those two children. Well, I have a good— They have also— They wanted to call me Master, but with time, Gemma thinks so too. It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the two kids if they— I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission. Sounds like their parent. It's only been 10 days since I first met them. They're very tough. They hide things. That's the thing about children. I can sense that their lives have been hard after thinking things over. P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. P.P.S. Maybe... Oh, Caesar, Caesar.
Two magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh? Sounds a lot like he was writing about Linny and Lynette, don't you think? So did they meet Caesar when they were kids? Let's go ask Linny. Linny?
Shh, hold that thought. As I
Fishy?
All in good time. Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of at this point. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall?
Very vivid description. Paimon
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished. As if everything that Of course, that's just how I think the process should work. The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy. He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house. No one could hope to survive that fall. Not without a vision, at least. And no one else has ever attempted this trick since.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape Paimon was about to... Wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then...
Glad you asked. That brings us to... This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed him. Once the magician's inside, and the box is lifted up into the... From where they're At this point, he then escapes through this trapdoor onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined.
Well, there's a little more There's the falling dummy, the many days... Caesar was...
So...
I can make a I looked into the case files.
Okay.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here. Which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience. The essence of magic is getting people. And so... Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations. Great magic, but in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moment. Exactly. I think that's likely what happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely... So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there. Much like when you reach for your... Instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way. With the stakes being as high as they were...
But in reality, someone switched... But how...
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed, and who could move his props around without arousing suspicion. Someone... Isn't that right?
You just couldn't let sleeping dogs... There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died... But I gave you your chance. I hoped you'd do what's good for you and...
You mean Gemma? So
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, which is why you can't leave this place alive.
And voila! I'm fine.
Kamisato art! Sumetsu! There is no escape! Torn to oblivion!
Let's get this show on the road! Had enough yet, Lorenzo? I think it's high time you started talking.
If I had a Mora for every time you said that man's name. Of course you idolized Caesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician. He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me!
So I was jealous.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him, never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the but the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skill. He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their Mora. There was nothing, and with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would I had to kill him.
And this was...
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance...
In love with Gemma, don't...
Guess I was wrong about that then.
I am. Caesar was... so strict with... I never bought into any of that.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much he was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate? I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed...
So, that's the story, huh? Well, I hope you're ready.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's here. So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years.
Very well. And Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me.
At least I can find...
Lily has told me the whole... Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of...
Look who's... What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lenny? Should we...
Let's rendezvous.
Good point!
You're back. You were so quick.
Your third?
It's fine. I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the exit.
That's besides the...
Did everything go okay?
Of course! Lorenzo was no match for us.
Gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry. I still didn't know if I could trust you, but I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but
It's okay, but you don't need to be...
I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took... I was so... Thank you all.
Thank you all for clearing Caesar's name. I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real to think that Lola, at least his soul can...
If
Don't blame yourself.
Yeah, you...
Cheer up, Gemma. My brother's doing a magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. This show will be a special one.
In Caesar's honor.
Great. We'll see you tomorrow evening.
Don't worry, we'll be there. No, where are we go... Wait. Paimon feels like we're forgetting something. Oh yeah, Caesar's diary! We never found out if the two kids Caesar taught magic to were Linny and Lynette or not.
So this is a date.
Paimon's excited to see another of Linny's magic.
Not this time. My brother's going solo today, so I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies, and the great magician Linny has prepared a spectacular...
Thank you all so much for...
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just...
No wonder. So,
Well, our children love magic, and somehow I felt...
Aw, that's...
It was with...
Oh, that's so cute!
Is that right? Then I suppose he's a romantic at heart, after all. You never know when the people do...
That's right!
Right. Yes, you can breathe easy now.
See? Even Lynette says... The Phantom Weasel! Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
What do you mean?
As Linny once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on... But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end. It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act?
What are you talking about? Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going.
Ladies and there will now be a brief interim. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places. Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon.
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood. This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan.
Lenny? Don't we have more? Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago.
All in good time.
Really?
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine. She never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and of course, she could not. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities.
So, being the master deceiver she was, the Weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. But as she was considered, at her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the Weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
I've gotta hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether... But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Linny? Is it something...
Don't worry, Lorenzo said, but I never believed that he was the Weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable. Even Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seemed...
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just like... Why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he...
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Linny, if you're so confident in your version of it, having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved one.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to... Why would the real Weasel have to...
Of course. After all, if I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had left to fend for herself after her parents died young. She'd scrounge waste. This was her own... Once again, This was a fate too cruel for anyone. I detest... I will rob them of...
That's some...
Does this story...
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to...
Huh. Because without that, none of this would have...
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. Linny. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that...
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar... Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something?
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the... But we did not forget.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm
free. Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and false, I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the...
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime. Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain? He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think you know, but that truth is gone now. And I guarantee...
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing... I'm sure you're all one...
A high-altitude escape?
I'm sure you all remember the magician, so we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my...
Lenny, you two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated in a...
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
So,
Like Lenny said, when you're ready, let's head outside and...
But what about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Lenny after the...
All right. Well...
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
It's alright. We're used to that.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
Look! Behold! Lenny is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Lenny! Watch out!
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
Did you see that? 1 minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
How could he possibly have...
How mysterious. I didn't believe...
What a heart-stopping magic show! Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and...
Looks like everyone really loved Linny's grand finale. Paimon doesn't see Linny anywhere. Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, oh, you mean... Yeah, that's... All right, let's go look... Are you alright? Paimon was scared.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or...
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about...
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him. I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secret, but I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw, I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves. But without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic. But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. Trust is a beautiful thing.
Linny...
Still worried about the way but don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the House of the Hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. That night, I remembered his smile. To keep secrets, you only realize how much someone really meant.
Yeah, we've had to say our delicious food. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kinda make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly. It's the same for... Life has taken plenty... That's why the darkness never can... Alright. Time to lighten this conversation.
It was amazing! Lenny...
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly...
Aw, come on!
Oh, alright then. I'll give it a go, but watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing...
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me.
3?
Now, have another...
Really? Let's see. Wow, there it is! But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done!
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing... Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on other—
Is that it?
Ah, look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my— I look forward to seeing you.
All right, shall we head back now too? Let's head to the sea.
I'm very sorry, Charlotte.
Oh, please, Lenny, I'll only—
Huh? What's happening here?
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, but just as dawn broke—
That was quick.
Too late, bro.
That was quick, you say? Aha! My
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Huh. Okay, then. Wait. Oh, I remember. Quickfire question. Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and actually, glad you mentioned.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to mean that they're more important to you?
No, I just...
What the... This is...
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Forgive my persistence, but when apparently one— All right, I guess I'll leave.
Lynette?
Don't worry, I wasn't angry.
Oh, really?
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job.
Please, take good care of that rainbow. I'd be really upset.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it